Do you ever feel like you don't know what to make for lunch, you don't have the energy to make it, or dinner, whatever, any meal? You don't know what to do, you know you need to make something healthy? Well, I'm gonna help you. When we talk about slow living, which is something that Nemo and I practice, one of the elements is to simplify as much as we can the details of our lives. I do want to share with you how we would approach making healthy food when we don't want to, we don't have the time, we don't have the energy, or maybe we don't have the money. Today is a good example because we have not been grocery shopping. We don't really have anything that seems delicious. And so I'm going to use the green bean and grain method to come up with a meal. What's great about this is that you aren't following a recipe, you're just following a structure. If you stick to the structure, it's gonna be good, it's gonna be filling, and most importantly, it's gonna be healthy. The reason why I decided to share this with you is because it's actually something that we mention in our introduction to slow living for beginners, which is a free download that you can get on our website when you sign up for our list, which I hope you have. There is also this trend going around of hashtag girl dinner, which has caught my attention. I feel like in a way that this is sort of related to the concept of girl dinner, because girl dinner is kind of just throwing together stuff that you have in your fridge. We aren't leaning into the patriarchy by creating something that's presentable or delicious or of a standard kind of meal that maybe like a husband would expect, if that makes sense. And I'm not dissing anyone who likes to follow complicated recipes and make beautiful food. I like to do that too. I'm just saying that this is something that's kind of like on our collective minds, and I wanted to address it. So let's get started. What do we have in the fridge? What I found is the last of a bag of pre-chopped kale, pretty good looking lemon, and some pickled red onions that have been there for a while. This will cover our greens base. I've got a can of black beans and a can of chickpeas. Not sure which I want to use, but either way, this will cover the beans. All we need now is the grains. Okay, I was hoping for quinoa. We don't have any, but got some couscous here. And I'm gonna use some Better Than Bouillon vegetable base to season the couscous. I think this is gonna turn into sort of like a salad of some sort. Right, remember, we're not following a recipe. Let's start with getting the couscous going. I'm just gonna use about that much Better Than Bouillon, and I think I'm gonna make about a cup of couscous. Put a little bit of water in the measuring cup, add the Better Than Bouillon, get it kind of dissolved, and put the pan on the burner, turn it up, top off that 1 cup left in there. Okay, gonna bring this to a boil and then add the cup of couscous. We'll let that steam while I get everything else ready. I like kind of like making things not all beige. Couscous is on the beige side, so I am going to choose the black beans over the chickpeas, and I'm gonna rinse them. I'm gonna dump them in the big bowl. I'm going to pick through this kale to make sure it looks good. I'm gonna use it up. I don't really like the stems, especially since we're gonna eat this raw. And just to make this a little easier to eat like a chopped salad, I'm going to chop the kale up into smaller pieces on my cutting board. Whatever pieces I don't deem usable, I'm going to make sure to put in my compost bucket. As you probably know, you're gonna eat it raw, you gotta massage it, so I'm just gonna drizzle a little bit of olive oil. And that's enough. A little bit of salt. And I'm just gonna massage it right here on my cutting board. You know, massaging is kind of like a weird word because yeah, you're massaging it, but really you're just squeezing it. Kind of like reduces in size and gets a lot smaller. All right, it looks good, and so I'm gonna dump this in with the black beans. You know what else I have is chopped pecans. I'm gonna toast them. You don't really need to toast them, but I'm gonna toast them. I just put them in a non-stick pan. I guess any pan would work. No oil, no nothing, just put them in there and toast them until they smell good. Okay, my broth is boiling, so I'm going to add couscous. Okay. Take the couscous off the heat and put the pecans on. Oh, Look, I have little tomatoes from the garden. I'm going to use some of these. I think that they are best cut in half. Toss the tomatoes in. Stir the pecans. Let's get some lemon zest and lemon juice. Gotta wash the lemon first. All right, this is a pretty big lemon, so I think I'm just gonna juice half of it. And I don't have a lemon juicer, I just juice it into a small bowl, not directly into the food. Oh yeah, that was a good juicy lemon. That might be too much. We'll have to do some taste tests before I just dump it in there. The kale does benefit from something acidic like the lemon and something fatty like the nuts, but only to a certain extent. So then I just go and I can use my little spoon, scoop out the seeds. There are a lot of seeds in this one too. Okay, I'm gonna drizzle a little bit of the lemon juice, but not all of it. We can always add more later. I'm going to add a few pieces of the pickled red onion. Not too many because Nemo's not a huge fan, but just a little bit to give it that taste, you know, a little exciting taste. Don't those look pretty? Okay, the pecans are done. Toasty pecans, dump those in there. Chop up the onion into little pieces. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stir this up and have a little taste test, see what it might be missing. It tastes good. Let's see how the couscous is. It's ready. All right, so you're gonna wanna fluff up the couscous and then dump it in. Ooh, I have an idea. How about some dried cranberries? Mix it all up. So the Better Than bouillon had plenty of sodium in it. I'm gonna add maybe a little bit of pepper. And there we have hashtag girl dinner. Following the beans, greens, and grains structure, this is probably enough for Nemo and I to eat 2 meals each. And here's yours.
Too many onions.
I put hardly any. That's good, right?